Well, good morning, everybody. It's time for Morning Manna. And this morning, the rapture. The rapture. I don't know about you, but everywhere I turn, it seems as though I'm seeing something about the rapture. Evidently, somebody in Africa ministered a word and it caught on fire, and now they are practice raptures all over everywhere. And I even looked and saw a whole field of people looking up, waiting for the rapture. Well, you know what? I believe that there is the rapture, and that is what we're talking about this morning. Ready or not, here he comes. But has the rapture happened? Has the rapture happened? And that's what I'm going to talk about on this morning in this morning's manna. Just about the rapture. How about that? Just about the rapture. Just about the rapture. And I want to ask the question: how many of you have actually seen some of that or read about the rapture? There's such a outpouring, if you will, about the rapture. Everywhere I turn, there is something about the rapture. How many of you seen that? How many of you seen that going on here? Well, that's what we're talking about on this morning. The text to talk, the takeaway, 5 minutes or less. You already know what we're going to do. So let's greet some folk this morning and let's see. We're still here, so not certain about what's going on with the rapture. Because if it has happened, I don't think we would have morning manna. But anyhow, that's what we're going to talk about right this morning. Good morning, Ella. How are you this morning? Deacon Joe, how are you? Good morning, Brenda. How are you on this morning? Ori, how are you? Gerald, how are you? Dolores, how are you? Verena, how are you doing on this morning? Ann, how are you? Vicky, how are you on this morning? Felicia, how are you? Elder Mobley, how are you? Now, I want to ask the question again. Have you seen anything about the rapture? Every time I turn around, that's what I keep seeing. Everybody talking about the rapture. Have you seen that? We're going to talk about that this morning. Good morning, Dawn. How are you? Minister Yolanda, how are you? Elder Jan, how are you on this morning? Good morning, Vaughn. How are you? Pasha, how are you on this morning? Deborah, how are you this morning? Carolyn, you're still here. So we know that the rapture has not yet happened, but we're still going to talk about it. That's exactly what we're going to talk about on this morning. Good morning, Joel. How are you on this morning? Liz, how are you on this morning? Jewel, how are you? Elder Mobley, how are you? Fawn, how are you? Wendy, how are you? Dan, the man, you are here. How are you on this morning? That's right. Let's greet some more folk. Linda, you're still here. Deborah, you're still here. Deborah Dorsey, you're still here. And you're still here. Valerie, you're still here. Pasha, if y'all are still here, then what's going on about this whole rapture thing? How many of you have heard about that? How many of you seen things about the rapture, seen it in social media or whatever the case may be? I'm just curious. Put it in the chat area. It says, Pasha said you heard about it. And said folks looking for the wrong signs. Okay, all right, that's good. Yes, I have. Elder Mobley said you've heard about it. Well, let's talk about it. Dan, have you said people just don't understand? No one knows the day, nor the time, nor the hour. I think that's what the Son of Man said. Good morning, Jacqueline. How are you on this morning? Good morning, Laura. How are you on this morning? Good morning, Brother Nesbitt. How are you on this morning? So, Mara, have you heard about the rapture? Have you heard anything about that? Z, how are you? Bernice, how are you? Said Dolores, you've heard about it as well. Okay. Alicia, have you heard about this rapture thing? Everybody's talking about the rapture. Everybody's talking about the rapture. And, you know, what is the deal here? What's going on with respect to the rapture? Well, that's what we're talking about on this morning. I'll take one more comment, then we're going to jump right into it. Good morning, Teresa. How are you on this morning? Felicia says, so much about the rapture, Bishop, already happened. Yeah, I know. That's what I keep hearing. That's what they're saying. And so, I don't know. Let's just do Morning Manna and we'll talk about it. Good morning and welcome to Morning Manna, where in 5 minutes or less, you're going to get an impartation with the text, the talk, and the takeaway. Join the Morning Manna fam every weekday morning at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Don't forget to put in the chat the revelation that you get and share the manna. Now, let's get ready to have some manna so you can make it through your day. Here's the text with respect to the rapture and where we get that from. 1 Thessalonians 4:16 through 17, the NIV translation. For the Lord himself will come down from heaven with a loud command, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet call of God. And the dead in Christ will rise first. After that, we who are still alive will be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. 1 Thessalonians 4:16 through 17, the NIV translation. Let me share a story and then I'll get into the context of the text and then the three things of the text and the takeaway. When I was younger, of course, grew up in a church family and all of those things. When I was younger, one of my brothers, Reginald, he used to always say he was going to grab a hold of my mother's legs. That's what he would say. He said he was going to grab a hold of my legs. Well, we're still here. So let's talk about what is actually going on in this text. Here is what Paul wrote to the Thessalonian church to calm their fears about those who had died in Christ. He wanted them and us to know that when Jesus returns, no believer would be left out. They were really caught up and upset about the fact that that Greek word hypozo means to be suddenly snatched away. There was the word on the street at Thessalonica that Jesus was soon to come. And so therefore, when people were dying in the Lord, they were worried of whether or not those that were alive and then still those that were dying, where was Christ? The imagery was clear in the uses of the language when it talked about that this wasn't going to be gradual, it was going to be instant. Apozo, rapture, snatched. This is why the old saints would sing, "Be ready when he comes again." Now, whether you're prepared or procrastinating, the trumpet won't wait for your alarm clock. Ready or not, here he comes. The question is, if we're still here, has he yet come? The rapture is both comfort and challenge. I want you to get that. It comforts us because we know our final destination. It's a challenge because we must live in this unjust, chaotic world and almost get to the fatigue, but the Spirit whispers, stay awake and stay ready. The fact remains, we're still here, so there's three things we need to do until he comes to get us. One, preparation over procrastination. Don't wait until tomorrow to surrender. Live rapture ready today. Let me say that again. Live rapture ready today. I'll say it a third time. Live rapture ready today. Two, purity over pretense. God isn't coming back for titles, likes, or applause. He's coming back for a bride without spot or wrinkle. Three, promise over panic. This isn't a horror story for believers. It's the blessed hope that fuels our faith. So if we're still here, he has not come, the rapture has not happened. So still, let's be ready or not, for he is coming. What's your takeaway this morning? Your takeaway is this: live like Jesus is coming today. Live like Jesus is coming today. The Lord be with you today. May his face shine upon you and give you peace. We're still here. The rapture hadn't happened, but ready or not, he is coming. Share the manna. Don't keep it to yourself. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow morning with more morning manna.